and it's a lovely jumpy melody along with, you know, overture drums. But when I did this, I was like so excited. And I was like, this is gonna be the sickest thing, sickest FL project I've ever made. Hello, so this is I run this channel. This is my third attempt at trying to run through a project. I'm hoping it works this time because I'm using my phone to record audio and then just screen recording my laptop. Hopefully I can get the audios to sync as well. That's the main end goal, I guess. And we have a lot to work with. So this is the finale to a big AJREO mega mix I did last month. I released it last month. It's quite big. I spent at least a month on this one bit. So it's 137 BPM, around 50 songs. First off, I started with Steve's Going to London. But I slowed it down. You could tell I slowed it down. But that is the end part of Steve's Going to London. Because Steve Going to London was nice. I just like the structure. I don't really want this to... It's not remembered by Steve's Going to London. But it's the structure of it. Because it starts off really, you know, powerful and like, strong. Has that lovely, like, high-end orchestra. But then the tempo changes. And that really obnoxious... I mean, it's fine on its own. It works in the song. It's really obnoxious in this, and I didn't like it. So I only used it for that one bit and then switched to the Green End Town. If you've heard it, you'll know what I mean. But, you know, first off, it was just Steve Going to London. It's just the drums, the guitar, and the other stems. Other is just anything in a filter, AI filter. AI. But anything in the AI filter when filtering the instrumental of the song that isn't, you know, guitar, drum, bass, whatever they have, you know, whatever they identify as instruments. Anything that isn't that, it's filtered into its own separate category called Other. But it starts off with Touch Fearful. The top down is how I've constructed it. It started off just, and then there's Touchy Feely Fool's ending, because that's nice. I think that worked. And then we added 2085 drums, and they're in 3/4. But we just, you know, there's easy workarounds for time signatures, luckily. And it hits different points when it's waltz time, you know, and you're converging time signatures. But lots of drums as well. Like you could hear 100 Bad Days, Darlin', 2085, and Steve's Going to London all at the same time. And that's lovely. A little bit of Bad Days comes through, but it's mostly just the pop, you know, stereotypical 2019 pop drums that catch your ear. And this part of the drum stem for Darlin' I used just to kick it off. It doesn't belong there in the actual beat of the song, but it's there. Like, that just works, in my opinion. So I put it there, and it's, you know, you don't hear that. 2085 others, so just the horns from 2085 along with everything else. You know, I'll play just a bit of the instrumental. It adds a lot of the body of the beat. It feels like 2085. But then I added Christmas Party. Like you can barely hear it. I'd sort of bring things in. I used reverse piano stems and other stems from Pitchfork Kids and Turning Out. This is just a piano, it's just high end. Reversed to create an upwards kind of feel leading up to it. But you know, you can kind of tell there's Pitchfork, but you don't really know. It sounds different because it's reversed. So it's absolute nonsense, but it catches your ear, and that's what I want to do, regardless of meaning, to be honest. What the flippity flop are you doing? I messed up somewhere, but there's supposed to be 2 layers of my play. It's not just that, there's also there's a lower version. I've watched that, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. This is a mess, but it says you did everything. The my play lyric, and that's kind of what kicked off the whole project. Well, actually, no, it didn't kick it off, but as soon as I thought of the project, I was like, I could use that lyric, because that works. And then the kind of screams from Maybe Man, or 1-2 Pandemonium, as some dare to call it. The click overture, but it says alt. You say, if you can read, it says alt for my poorly educated viewers. In the place of where drama would be in the overture finale. But yeah, there's the play, and then it goes to the click overture. And they kind of sound similar, these two. The acapella of the click kind of just becomes like a sub-melody, and it kind of works. Then Why I'm Not Crazy, because I love using Why I'm Not Crazy everywhere. I don't know, for giggles, I don't know. Don't ask me. Inertia and 2085 are in there, because they're just the stereotypical, I will use them.
Where I am going is right where I am.
And I'm not going to the next section yet, but that's literally the first 30 seconds. And I haven't gone over all of it yet. But this is kind of a reference to one of my favourite mixes among the fan base, which is Brookson's Maybe medley, where there is a section where it's Inertia's, but he uses in such an alternating way. It's so cool. I just like that. I like that. So you just use stuff like that. I like referencing other mixes that I like, because some are lovely, including some of Brookson's works. There's a cheeky Alice by the Hudson reference. The big idea as well, just to kind of, it's a double-sided sword, every blessing has its curse. The curse is the big idea.
And now we celebrate.
Scared me the first time I heard it, to be honest, in the mix. I use Alice by the Hudson to transition to the next section. And you can see there is a bit just going on in the vocals, because there's that reference, there's a holy reference, here, 100 Bad Dads. 100 Bad Dads? No! The 100 Bad Days. The single, everyone was like, wow, that sounds so cool. Wow, that's epic. And then Karma just stole it in the actual album. And they called it a reference. How epic. But I also used, what was I saying? Layered them in a way so they sound the same. And they're both kind of panned to the right, so you can't really distinguish. But I make sure the volume goes down at the end so it can transition, which is the opening to OK Overture, with Joe. Again, every blessing has its curse. Scary Joe reference in the left ear. And it breaks down, the instrumental breaks down. It was originally just Bummerland. And the click overture drums. Dubstep remix of Bummerland. But also, what tops it up is these really badly filtered piano stems from 2085's finale. You can barely tell it's 2085. You have no idea what this is. Until now. Then the melody barely shows. Then you hear this, and you're like, oh, it's 2085. And you kind of see, and it's a lovely jumpy melody, along with, overture drums. When I did this, I was like, so excited. And I was like, this is gonna be the sickest FL project I've ever made. And then I made OK Overture exist. I went then Next Up Forever, which really laid down the body of it. It was so good. and I could let it build up in the earlier beat. Like, it's just there, and they can't unhear it now. We also sped up Next Up Forever's melody in the background of like the calmer and 100 Bad Day stuff. Yeah, whilst all that is happening, there's a really, really deep sub-melody of Steve's Going to London and Green in Town. Really sneaky. And all together it's so overwhelming. I think I just crashed OBS. Oh yeah. And then we just added Betty. At the time it was called On My Side, and I mean, the thing was announced yesterday, but I was so certain it was Beyond the Deluxe. And then I thought about it for a second and went, yeah, okay, then it's an EP. I love the Sober Up reference, because they keep referencing The Click now. Suddenly now, that's a good album. Is it now? Rose Drubs. Who's Rose? Buy Me a Rose. Just the very ends. You can hear you can hear the bit used in that really other popular overture that I really like. I forgot the name. The Omni over. Not a clue. Really scary, you know. The curse there is Christmas in June. Just the and more Christmas in June in OK Overture. You know, had to scare him like that, you know. But the main part is, I love matching Betty and Ordinary People. But then the actual end things, I don't know why I did God Is Real Real here, just in the middle. I don't know. But you know, I know I'm alone. You know, you think it's just not an AJR thing, and then you hear a really scary 3:30 Ed Sheeran reference, and then it starts ending. And it ends so well. I love this ending. It's so lovely. So, at the start of the project, one I started in January, half a year ago, I wanted it to be a lot more unknown, and I was so sophisticated, as what no one's thinking art. That is so sophisticated, so complex, when it is really just a lot of filtered stems. Like, this was made, the filtered stem for the dumb song, heard here, it's just used, because it's in C, the end is in C, it's used with I Won't, which is A minor, which is technically C major at the same time. And the piano from I Won't, that's kind of barely relevant in the I Won't other stem, gives room for the kind of more prevalent piano that's kind of laid down at the end of the dumb song. This wasn't let's do this. This was just me, just throwing against the wall, and it sounded amazing when I made the start of the Everything Overture, and I didn't know what it was going to be in January. And I thought, let's bring that sound back. But then add my favourite audio, the Turning Out Part 3 ending, which is just the turning out one guitar even. Because this piano thing lays down kind of helps the Next Up Forever piano shine more. You know, 2085 piano just becomes Next Up Forever. The click is gone, Bummerland kind of fades out. Steve Goes London fades out. You hear a lot of 2085 horns. There's some here. The drums fade out. Everything fades out, obviously. But, you know, then the vocals. We'll go to the vocals now. A bit more of calmer, and then OK Overture just positioned conveniently, but it sounds a lot like the end of World's Smallest Violin, because I think they're just sampled vocals. I like that bit because in my head I was like, yeah, that means it's called On My Side. It's called Betty.
Darling, if we're ever gonna have a
Oh, not that bit yet. Christmas in June, end of it. No one's ever told me the BPM at the end of the song because I don't think it's that easily measured. I don't think there is a beat. It's just one like clarinet and Jack yapping. Like, I think he might have freestyled it, to be honest. Because there's no BPM to it, so it's so spliced up. When I was begging creatively, I was like, I have to put this in.
Darling, if we're ever gonna have a kid.
It doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound right. It sounds so bad. But, you know, it doesn't really, it's so layered. There's room for mistakes. And then this lovely line from The Life's Rental, because I heard one sip ages ago, and I was like, that's amazing. So I filtered the vocals from his video where he used AI and the concert vocals isolated together, combined to create a semi-decent one. And as soon as I told Neon about it, he was like, that's a really bad idea because they suck. And they're not that great. It's AI. No, nothing against the ones that it's just AI.
I wanna spend my whole life with people that I love.
But there it just kind of worked. And I loved the meaning of it because it's so cheesy. I think that's what AJREO is about. But then the epitome of cheesiness rolls into I'm Sorry You Went Crazy.
You just look like someone that I
Which was last second when what is this? +2, because in here I treat it as A major. I don't know, because in the I'm Sorry You Went Crazy mini mix I treated it as E major. I don't know. Not a clue. We'll find out when the song comes out. But yeah, I used that because the teaser that's the first ever teaser of it. The first ever teaser came around Ryan's birthday, which is when we were releasing it. So this was like a last minute throw it in at the end because I didn't know if any of the other guys were going to put it in, and we wanted to use as much as possible. So we threw that in the end, and I'm boring, so I used the click metronome. So very minimalistically, and that rounds it up. That's my most proudest creation. That is the Everything Overture finale, and it's over a minute, so it's not boring, you know. And I love all the different sections. I love all the parts about it. I love how it all comes together. I spent I already said I spent a month on it ish. It was such a big thing for me, and you can see here like all the combined, I think this is all the combined audio files is like 3 gigabytes. It's a big thing. Like, it's mainly because I use waveform, which is bad. Use MP3, please. But I don't know why I do, because waveform is just bad to move about in, and YouTube videos play back like worse quality than MP3, I fear, or just MP3. So there's no point. But oh well. You know, it sounds better when I'm making it. But thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by. I'll try to cut this up and make it short. Thanks for staying about. I do all the stuff any other rational YouTuber will ask you to. YouTuber. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Goodbye. Eat your fruit and veg.